Hey everybody, Judah Hooper here from the Landlords and Investors Mastermind Group. You would not believe this, but it is November 1st and it is an absolutely gorgeous sunny afternoon. I had to get out of the office and just walk some houses here in beautiful downtown Lancaster. I'm going to show you guys how I quickly walk a house in 5 to 10 minutes, put together an offer, and get it out there. I think the mistake a lot of investors make is they only are working on 1 or 2 deals at a time, instead of working on 5 or 10 or 15 houses that you can walk each and every week and be submitting massive amounts of offers and do a higher volume of business. And even if you submit 10 or 15 offers a week, you're probably still only going to be doing 2 or 3 houses a month. But if you did 2 or 3 houses a month, that would radically and totally change your life. And let's talk specifically about how we do that and how you can walk a house in under 10 minutes. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is come into this house, and I'm gonna walk this house with you the exact way that I walk the house and show you what I'm seeing as I walk it. I kind of walked through this house just really quickly, but I'm gonna do what I would do if I was coming here. I see that there's some water damage, water spots here on this ceiling. It is wallpaper up there. It looks like it's wet, doesn't look like it's coming through or coming down, as far as damaging the ceiling or anything like that, just water coming down through. This flooring looks like it's in pretty good shape, needs to be cleaned up. I've got some junk here. And then in the kitchen, flooring still in rough shape. So what I would do is, if I was walking this house, my friend who specializes in REO properties, he's an REO agent, said, Judah, take a look at this property. I'd be walking this property with a pen and paper, and I would just be coming up with my own numbers. I don't need a plumber to come look at this property. I don't need an electrician or anything like that. I can walk into this kitchen and say, I need a new refrigerator. I need a new stove. I need, let's call it 12 feet of countertop with a sink, and I need 1 cabinet, 2 cabinets, 3 cabinets, 4 cabinets, and then 1 on a corner, large corner cabinet. For the flooring, maybe I would rework this a little bit and think about putting in a dishwasher right there beside the sink, and then doing another little bit of a run of cabinets over here on the other side of the refrigerator. If I was gonna, call came in on my phone there. If I was gonna flip it, that's what I would do. If I was going to turn it into a rental, I probably wouldn't add more kitchen cabinets over there. But you just come up with a price for what each of those things are going to be. You know it needs them, and actually, you know what? These are pretty freaking solid. I mean, there's grease all over them. They need to be cleaned up and painted. The more I look at this, the more I'm thinking I'm not doing anything with these cabinets. I'm replacing this countertop and replacing that sink and putting in new appliances here. That's all I'm doing. I love walking into a house and going straight into the basement. I walk into a house, I look at the basement. What do these rafters and floor joists look like? Are there additional support columns added? This 4x4 is here for the steps, and that's it. It's not actually adding any structural support to the basement. But if I see any other jacks or floor supports like that, I want to know, I want to pay attention to it, because I'm always worried about structural problems with houses. I can see a whole bunch of light coming in the back here. I would add on my list 1 Bilco door. Those things pop right on. Not a big deal at all for any contractor to install. I don't, now look, this is just the, if that was in the house, a cement block poking out like that, and some of these steps. If I saw that in a basement of a house, I would turn around and walk right back out. Not interested. I don't know if that's a big deal or not a big deal or what that is. That's only on this back part here for these stairwells, and you can't see it, but there's a little bit of deflection here with these bricks here too. I'm so glad I saw this, because I tell people to watch out for what doesn't look like a big foundation issue but could be. That is only on like this basement dormer type thing. I don't know what you call this when you got steps that are protruding out from the rest of the foundation line. So whoever dug this stairwell and put those blocks in probably didn't do the best job, but I'm not worried about that at all. Put a Bilco door in there. The rest of this foundation, I don't see any deflection or any problems. This is parging that's coming off. Not something that scares me, not a big deal, because the blue rock fieldstone foundation that's under there, and then the brick that's stacked on top of it, all looks good. I don't see anything. There you see the floor joist coming across from the house beside. I don't see any sister joints. I don't see any support columns. I don't see anything to make me think that this house is, in the 100 years it's been here, that it's sifted, settled, or anything like that. All right, let's talk about this hot water heater. This is obviously a gas hot water heater. You see that gas line right here. This is the gas line going down to the bottom, and the igniter right there, and we have a chimney on top. If it was an electric hot water heater, right about here there would be something that would look like this, a hole that'd be capped, and there would be a wire kind of like this coming out of the top of that hot water heater. Since we don't see that, it's obviously a gas hot water heater. It's just good to know what you have. Looks pretty new. If it was an electric hot water heater, that would also be like right here and down about here. There would be ports where the anodes would go in. It's important to know what type of mechanics you're working with. All right, so here's the washer hookup. The dryer hookup was upstairs. That's weird and interesting and funky. I wonder if there's a way to have a dryer vent down here someplace. Maybe, maybe not. That is actually something to be concerned about. Not concerned, just of note. A dryer vent's not that big of a deal, but it's something to pay attention to. All right. There's a big old fat hunkin' gas line going to this big old monstrosity of a forced hot air system. We know it's a forced hot air system because there's ductwork that we can see down here in the basement. That means it's not a radiator system or anything like that. It's not a steam system or a boiler system, but it is a gas forced hot air system. The other thing that I would always do, and I'm not going to do it on camera here for you, but I would trace this pipe, this gas line, wherever it goes, and make sure that it feeds the whole way directly over to and connects to this meter right here. Very critical, very important. I have watched gas lines go right by furnaces. Bought a house, thought that it was a gas furnace. It was actually not a gas furnace. It was an oil furnace. I saw an oil tank in the basement, thought the oil was still hooked up, or thought the oil tank was just there but not hooked up, because that's very common in this market. And sure enough, it was actually an active oil system, and I just looked, too quickly. There's our electric system. I'm not a trained electrician, but I do play one on TV. Just look at the electric system. Get yourself educated on what is good, bad, and different about electric systems. I'm not going to say anything on camera here. Maybe I will later. I'll feel better about talking about electric systems, but I'm not right now. So everything in the basement checks out. There's a lot of junk down here. This is a REO property, so somebody was just evicted by the bank. And there's nothing on this level. This is dank, dirty. These people are heavy smokers. But I got to tell you, there's nothing that paint and carpet won't solve. This flooring looks pretty cool. There's a bulge right here that I find interesting. But we didn't see anything downstairs about that to make me think that it's anything other than just the floorboards buckling and coming up a little bit. I would use a number of $3,000 for paint, $3,000 for carpet, $1,000 for trash out. I would count the windows and do $350 for them. I would come up with a price for a stove and a refrigerator. And I would do another $450 for painting those kitchen cabinets. I would do $150 for a fan here, and I would not do a fan in here, but I would do something for this lighting here. Come up with a price for that. I don't know why this property is still on the market. I'm not seeing anything that scares me. All right, first bedroom is in the back. Steps feel great, by the way. Nice wide steps. They're not creaking or shuddering or wobbling as I walk up them. That's great. Back bedroom, always the smallest. Man, this place, it is November 1st. This place would be great to have a Halloween party at because it is frightening. All right. I was here before, and I know that this is unlocked, which is not a good thing, and it's just important to make note of. It means your property is not actually secure. Good, my gosh, it is a gorgeous day. This is not a gorgeous property. This property needs a whole lot of work, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Backyard looks great. You need a lot of weed and removing of flowers and stuff like that, which are all overgrown. But that backyard looks really cool. And that is that basement door that we were talking about. Popping a new Bilco door on there is going to make that place look nice and sharp and great. This decking needs replaced, and I think that there's so much rotting going on here that this is what people are nervous about with this thing. But it feels really secure, it feels really solid, and it's not slanted. When you walk a lot of these houses, oftentimes these decks feel a whole lot worse than this, but this one is just rotted there at the edge. See, what they do here is you can see it if I step back over here, they put this L in the building to get an extra window there to get more light. That's how these houses were designed. And then they like enclose this porch area type thing here. And these porches are sometimes frightening, scary, and a little bit shady. This one is not. Shaky, shifty was what I mean by shady, not shady as in out of the sun. So there's an extra window there, which means there's an extra window to replace, but it means you get more natural light into that other bedroom. All right. So that is that. Bathroom, $3,500. I know that I can replace a sink and vanity, a commode, and a shower surround, and do a medicine cabinet and a light for $2,900. I round up to $3,500. There's some painting here. I would paint over this beautiful 1960s pink and black tile. You want to talk to your painter about using an epoxy that's going to specially attach itself to that. You know, you're going to do a whole new shower kit here. But just write $3,500 and come back to it. That's what I do. Maybe your number's $4,500. But come up with a number that works for you, price it out once, and then use it every single time. You don't have to reprice and rethink. I walk into a bathroom, if I'm going to redo everything, I just say, great, $3,500. Here's that ductwork that we talked about. So we know that the ductwork goes throughout the whole house, which is fabulous. We're going to need new registers, but there's nothing here in this room that needs done. $3,000 for paint throughout the whole house, $3,000 for carpet and flooring throughout the whole house, and you're in good shape. Would need a light here. We're going to need to do some electrical work to fix these switches. Oh, did I not get that on camera? Not a big concern. Even if you don't do the electrical work, I think you're going to be okay. paint and carpet, paint and carpet. That's what's causing our big problem downstairs. Downstairs we saw a lot of wet, but we didn't see any deterioration of the actual roofing material. Here, the ceiling is caving in a little bit, but it's just plaster. It's just the lath that the plaster holds on to is rotted, and it's caving down a little bit. You cut it out, you replace it, you throw some drywall in there. We're talking between this and a couple other places where we saw some plaster damage, you're talking $450, maybe $500 worth of drywall damage. This room, it looks awful. It looks hideous. It just needs painted and carpeted. Scrape, paint, boom, move on, get rid of all the junk, put in some fresh colors and fresh carpet. Obviously put in a new light here, new light in the hallway. You know, count up your lights. They're $25 a piece at Lowe's or Home Depot or whoever is going to sponsor this video. Fourth bedroom, which is great. I know this market. 4-bedroom houses in this area are $1,200. This house is worth $120,000, $110,000, something in that price range. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to subtract 30% for my hassle, haggle, and aggravation. Then I'm going to subtract these maintenance costs that I'm coming up with. I'm going to make an offer. I'm going to put it on my spreadsheet. I'm going to tell the realtor what I'm willing to pay, and I'm going to go from there. All of these windows, I would replace them all. I grew up a block and a half from here, and I had windows exactly like this in my bedroom 35 years ago. So I'm not seeing anything up here for where that water's coming in. You know, it probably just needs, the roof just needs replaced. And who knows, by now the roof might have even been replaced. The bank might have done it. But figure $5,000 for a roof on a house like this. And if you figure $5,000 for a roof on a house like this, $3,000 for paint, $3,000 for carpet, $350 for every window you see, $25 for every light you see. You're pretty close to being able to put together and make an offer on this place. This video is 14 minutes long. I could be in and out. I narrated this whole thing. I could be in and out of this house super quick. Make an offer and move on. Front porch looks great. Oh my goodness, it feels so nice outside. All this brick looks straight. There's no deterioration of the mortar. It doesn't need repointed or anything. I would add another $250 to my price just to scrape and paint this. My price of my maintenance, that is. My rehab costs. On a little bit of a busy street. But there's great parking right down there. School must have just let out. Fabulous. I love this house. I'm gonna make an offer. All right, guys, I'm back in the car here, and I just walked that house. It looks great. I'm going to make an offer. I wanted to come in the car so that we're out of the traffic noise and everything like that, and you can hear me a little bit better here. But I'm going to start doing these videos and posting them here. So if you like the idea of watching videos for how to walk houses and learn that skill, I think it's a valuable skill, because if you always have 50, 75, 100 houses that you're just kind of percolating on and you've made offers on and you're waiting for the seller, be it a bank or a private individual, to come down on price, you're already there, you've already worked it, you already know the numbers, and you can just jump on it a whole lot quicker than the competition. And so as soon as it comes on the market as a REO, walk it, even if it's priced way out of the price range of what should be realistic. Like my page, like this video, subscribe, and we're going to deliver a lot more great content like this. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.